This is my Reboot hit and run. Hit and win burn deck. 1 copy of the leader. 4 lightning fast hit. 4 hit space time transcendent. 4 hit skillless. 4 Super Saiyan 3 Nappa Saiyan Might. 4 Vegeta Exploding Weakness. 4 Kaioken Goku. 4 Topo Righteous Aid. 4 Bodyguard Logic. 4 Hidden Power E Supreme Kai. 4 Testing Opposition. 4 Piccolo Junior Descendant of the King. 4 Lord Slug Giant Force. 4 Vegito Unison of Might. And 1 Goku and Frieza Miraculous Conclusion. So, the deck is called Hit and Win because the idea is for you to deal 6 damage and then play lightning fast hit through its evolve skill and burn your opponent for 2 for game. Basic stuff. It's what got me into this whole get your opponent down to 2 or 1 life and burn them through burn effects. Of course, later on we got Nappa, so it's like, okay, let's try to get our opponent down to 1 life and finish them off with Nappa. And the list went on, and now we got Goku and Frieza as basically a new Nappa, as it were. And this could be splashed in many decks because the thing about Nappa is that you got to go mono red. Your leader and your whole entire deck got to be mono red in order to use it. And it's one of the cheapest, burn card that deals 1 damage by playing it that we have in the game. But you got to go mono red, which is not a problem, as you can see. But a lot of times you can't, use them in other decks. But you can use this in other decks, like a deck that's red blue. You can use this in. You can obviously use lightning fast hit because it's about evolving. And as long as you can afford the energy necessary to evolve, you can perform the burn from this. So these are a lot more generic. More generic. Then of course we got some unisons that can burn. We got a Vegito that can burn. It can burn your opponent for 1 damage if your opponent doesn't have no battle cards. So a way you want to play this is you want to try to drive Vegeta Exploding Weakness on your opponent's turn to try to clear the board, right, with the minus effect. And when the board is clear, then on your turn, drop this for 5 energy, so that way it has 5 markers. Or drop it for 4 energy, and then attach a second copy to give it a marker. So that way we have 5 markers, and then minus 5, and then trigger the effect to burn your opponent for 1 damage. Let's say your opponent has 2 life, right? Well, this is a 20k body. You can swing with it, try to deal damage, bring your opponent down to 1, and then do the minus 5 to burn them for 1 life. So that's the way you can use that. Same goes for Goku and Frieza. It is dual attack, and it can try to deal your opponent at least 1 damage through one of its attacks, and then use its active main to burn your opponent for 1. So we'll get to that stuff, but you get the idea. Hit and win. So you hit your opponent, for 6 damage, and then try to win with lightning fast hit, which is the main strategy. And this is a hit leader, so trying to be on theme, right, on brand. So the leader auto, when this card attacks a leader card, draw a card. And this card gains 5k power for the duration turn, so you don't have to combo in order to make it a high pressure or to increase your chances of dealing your opponent damage, right? We already know the first 4 damage is the easiest damage to deal because your opponent pretty much lets you deal that damage. And this extra 5k boost makes it very easy because in order for your opponent to out combo, they're going to need a 10k combo to out combo it. So a super combo or 2 5Ks, and I doubt your opponent is interested in giving up 1 or 2 cards as soon as the game starts, right? So that's something we take advantage of. Plus you draw when you attack, so yay! So you're not giving up anything, you're only plusing, so definitely one of my favorite effects. I like the fact that they made hit better. So he hits, which he's on brand, right? So definitely a fan of the Reboot. And then his Awaken, we have 4 less life. You draw a card, switch one of your energies to active mode. Decent. I would have preferred it untaps 2 energy because then it gives me the turn for space time and hit a lightning fast hit combo, but they didn't give us that sad face. But I'll take what I can get. Not that big of a deal. We're gonna do something different anyway. So there's a wait inside auto when this card attacks. Period. Right, when it attacks in general, you draw a card. Then this card gets 5k power, so it's a 20k body when it swings. Then choose up to one skillless battle card in your drop area with energy cost 2 or less and play it. Our target for this effect is the 15k 2-drop skillless hit. Hopefully later on they give us a 2-drop 20k skillless hit. That'd be nice to upgrade, right, to a 20k body. But for now, we got the 15k. Not going to complain. We're really only using this more for one, to be on brand, right, because this is a hit leader. But also we're using it as an evolved target, which is the main way we want to bring out lightning fast hit, but we do have the space-time transcendent hit as a backup strategy. So, moving on. Active main / battle ability. Once per turn, choose one card in your hand and place it into a drop area. Choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with double strike, critical, or blocker and KO it. So this is a good way of getting rid of a blocker that might, that you don't want your opponent to have, so you can try to attack and not worry about them blocking, right? The fact that this is active main and battle, right, means you can use it during when your opponent attacks. Once per turn, if they attack with something that has crit or double strike, especially if they have something with double strike, they're trying to attack you for game, you can use this to save yourself. So that way you don't have to try to out combo that thing. So it's really good against the Mira and Champa, play. Your opponent has a battle card they're attacking with that has 100k attack plus double strike, and like, oh no, I don't have enough to out combo that. Well, hit your card, activate my battle ability, bang, KO it. So this is nice. Of course, this doesn't ignore barrier, so anything that has barrier is immune to this. Keep that in mind. But it's a really good card, right? Most things have critical, most things have double strike, and some stuff are blockers. So this hits a pretty good amount of targets, and I've enjoyed using that effect a couple of times to clear a problematic card on the board or defensively. Which it's on brand because he's assassin hit, right? So gotta love that. So pretty cool, really good leader in many ways because you draw, you don't have to combo when you swing with it because it automatically boosts itself. So essentially, it's a 15 on the front, 20k on the back. Good, those are good stats to start off with. So it'd be easy to get your opponent down to 2 life with this leader. And then we have the mighty lightning fast hit from set 1. Evolve for 3 red, 2 of anything, and put this on top of any hit. Doesn't matter if the hit's red, black, green, yellow, whatever. It just has to be a hit. So, we have 2 other hits in the deck that we can evolve on top of. He's 25k with double strike, so that's nice. That he, can be used as a finisher, as well as he has the auto when a card evolves into this card, inflict 2 damage to your opponent. Which is really, really nice. So, going on. Hit Space-Time Transcendent, active main ability. Pay 2 red, 1 of any color. Choose up to 1 red hit card in your drop area or warp with an energy cost of 6. Evolve this card into that card, and you can't play hit cards with an energy cost of 6 for the duration of the turn. They don't want you to use this to put hit on top of it and then evolve on top of that hit with another hit, so you end up dealing 4 damage in a single turn. That's why it has that restriction to try to prevent that. But the goal is obviously get your opponent down to 2 and then evolve and then just win right there and then. Or at least evolve, deal your opponent 2 damage so that way they're down to 2 and then, take advantage of the fact that you're double strike and try to go for game that way. So yeah, the earliest you can do this with this leader is on turn 5, because you'll pay 3 to play this, which means you have 1 energy 2 energy up, and then you awaken your leader so you can draw a card and untap energy, so you're back to 3 energy, and then use those 3 energies for the active main of this card's effect. Another thing you could do is if you have 6 energy in a hit, lightning fast hit in your drop area, and this wouldn't be that hard to get to drop area, especially if your leader's awakened, because you can use your active main to discard it in order to trigger its effect, and to get it into the drop, and then play this for 3, then activates active main for 3, so a total 6 energy, and evolve and do 6 damage. Do 2 damage to your opponent. So different ways to use it. I try to get it out sooner than later, but if this deck has a good amount of defensive cards, so you should be able to stall up to turn 6 and pay 6 for playing this all in one turn. Of course, you can try to drop this on turn 3 and then try to trigger it on turn 4. That's also an option. So keep that in mind. So you can drop this turn 3 and then hopefully your opponent can't get rid of it, and then on turn 4 go evolve, all that good stuff. So hit 15k skillless. We already explained that it's for the leader's effect. So let's play it for free, so that way we can use it as an evolve target. Obviously, we could play it just for 2 energies in itself. For example, let's say we have 6 energy. Yeah, so you have 6 energy. You pay 2 to play hit. Awaken with your leader. So which means you have 6 energy. You pay 2 to play hit, so you have 4 energy left. Awaken your leader, so you draw a card and untap energy, so you have 5 energy. Then use the 5 energy to play a lightning fast hit on top of the skillless hit, and that's how you can use those 2 cards in one turn to burn your opponent for 2. So at the latest, there's turn 6 plays. At the earliest, turn 4 or 5. So those are the things you gotta keep in mind. So under the right conditions, turn 4 you can lightning fast hit, or turn 5 you can lightning fast hit, or turn 6 typically you can lightning fast hit. We have Super Saiyan 3 Nappa, Saiyan Might. This makes life simpler. If you can get your opponent down to 1 life, drop this on turn 4, you can just win on turn 4, right? At the earliest, you can drop this on turn 4 and burn your opponent, because when you play this card from your hand, choose up to 1 of your opponent's life and place into the drop area, right? Crit them for 1 life. He's a 20k crit, and he has a permanent where you can't play him unless everything is mono red, right? On your field and battle area, drop area, that kind of stuff. So keep that in mind. This deck is mono red, so that's not a problem. Meeting the condition. Then we have Vegeta Exploiting Weakness. Counter play. You play this card. Permanent. Since your leader is red, reduce the cost of this card by 3, so it costs 2. Reduce it by 2, so it costs 3 to play. So essentially, it's a 3-drop in your deck. And then auto, when you play this card, choose all of your opponent's battle cards, and they get negative 20k power for the duration of the turn, which can potentially board wipe your opponent. And if it's your opponent's turn, so if you counterplay this on your opponent's turn, choose up to 1 of your leader cards, and it gets plus 5k power for the duration of the turn. So you can boost your leader up to the awakened side up to 20k. That's 20k body. So it could further increase your chance of surviving. Plus the fact that this does minus 20k to all your opponent's battle cards, it's almost like adding 25k combo power, as it were, to your leader. So it makes it really, really hard for your opponent's battle cards to hit your leader in that type of situation, which is awesome. More so awesome once if you do break your opponent's board, right? You board wipe them with this. So even more awesome in that situation. Especially mentioned earlier, use this to clear your opponent's board and then play Yugioh the following turn to burn your opponent for game. So that's an option. Then we have Kaioken Goku. Has deflect auto. When you play this card from your hand, choose all of your opponent's battle cards with 20k power or less and KO them. So another board wipe card. And it has the active main ability, pay 2 red, your leader card is red, and you place this card from your hand to the drop area, choose one of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, which is important, right, and minus 25k power from that card for the turn. So this will help you deal with any problematic battle card that has barrier. Definitely comes up a lot. I've used that effect multiple times. And of course, playing it for 3 to board wipe my opponent has also served me well. Definitely a great card in Boma because it becomes a blocker with the Boma leader. And here, you know, it's a good spot removal / board wipe. Of course, you can use the -2 ability just to clear a blocker. You know, if you need to clear a blocker, you could combine this with the leader's effect and be able to get rid of 2 blockers. So that way, you know, you can attack and not have things blocking, right? And we have a Topo Righteous Aid, counter attack. Choose one card from your hand, discard it, negate an attack, play this card. Permanent, reduce the cost of this card by 2, so it costs 2 to play during your opponent's turn. And then auto, if it's your opponent's turn, when you play this card, for the duration of the turn, your opponent can't attack unless they choose 2 cards from the hand and discard them for each attack they try to make, which is awesome. So this is a way you can, you know, try to get an extra turn. So you can use this to try to get an extra turn. You can use Vegeta to get an extra turn. Testing position to get an extra turn. So we got some good cards here you can use to try to get an extra turn. Even just board wiping your opponent could potentially get you an extra turn, especially if your opponent's going wide. So obviously these effects are useful against aggro decks. You know, going wide decks. And then he's a 20k body, which is, you know, never a bad thing. Bodyguard Allergic, 15k blocker, with the permit that if you your opponent controls battle cards and you don't, you can play this card for free. So free 15k body. So definitely helps you, you know, go a little aggro real quick on your opponent. Plus being able to put up a free defense soon as turn 1 is always good. Then we have Hidden Power, E Supreme Kai. You pay 1 energy to combo this, so you can get 10k combo power, plus get double strike. It's optional, so you can choose to do the double strike or not. And this is obviously one of the ways we, you know, early game, turn 1, turn 2, for example, try to get our opponent down to, you know, down to 6 life. Down to 2 life. Of course, you can use this to help you turn anything into a finisher, like a Topo or something. Then we have Testing the Opposition. Counter attack. Later card is mono red. Negate the attack. Play a Cyberman token with 5k power, 0 cost 5k combo power, and blocker skill. Until the end of the turn. And then permanent. If your life is 5 or less, you can activate this card for free. Counter skill for free by taking a card from your life to your hand. This is not once per turn, so if you have multiple copies of this card and you have enough life to pay for this card effect, you can play multiple copies and potentially block, up to 2 attacks per each copy. So the more copies you have, the higher chance you have of surviving a turn. Especially if your opponent is throwing a whole bunch of double strikes at you. And then we got Piccolo Jr., Descendants of the King. Auto, when your opponent activates the counter skill, like counter attack, counter play, counter. Choose one of your opponent's battle cards with 15k power or less and KO it. Has the +1 active main ability to let you draw cards. So it gives you more draw power. Your leader you already draw with. This will give you another draw, so you're drawing 2 cards a turn. Gotta keep that hand nice and thick. Plus, you want to draw into your combo cards, your lightning fast hits, and your transcendent hits. You're just trying to draw into your hits and use them to win you the game. And then we got the -2 ability. Active main. Choose up to one of your red battle cards with energy cost 3 or less. Choose all of your opponent's battle cards with energy cost with power equal to or less than that battle card, and gain rejuvenate. So this is the way you can board wipe your opponent. You can use this on your hits, that you could play with your leader's effect. You can play out your skill as hit for free, right? And then play this for 2, then do the -2, and then board wipe your opponent, or play this for 3, for example, and then -2 from it, so you could board wipe your opponent but still keep this on board. And then later, and then the following turn you just do the +1 ability, all that good stuff. So that's just something you can do. Another target for this is space-time hit, because it has 19k power, so you'll be able to hit some stronger targets with this, combining it with that. Then we have Lord Slug, Giant Force, 15k crit, +1 ability. You may choose one card in your hand, discard it. If you do, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, and it gets -10k power for the turn. Good way of getting rid of any problematic battle card that has barrier. You could combine this effect along with Kaioken Goku and be able to -35k from a battle card that has barrier in case there's a problematic 35k battle card with barrier. Just in general, just being able to make something weaker that has barrier, so that way you can attack and take it down easier with the leader swing or something, is always a good play. Then we have the auto -4 ability. If your leader card is red, which is when your opponent activates a counter skill, whether it's a counter attack, counter play, counter, deal 1 damage to your opponent, more burn, right? You gotta love it. So this is obviously really good to set this up, especially in a scenario where you play this, like let's say on turn 2, start doing the +1 ability, and then like around turn 5, you try to do the lightning fast hit play to try to burn your point for 2, but then they're like God Sealing Trunks or something like that. Yeah, because God Sealing Trunks is counterplay. Bang, this auto will trigger, dealing your opponent at least 1 damage. Then you could try to go swinging in with the lead or something like that. Or if they're already at 1 life, this will just end them out if they got sealing. So something to keep in mind. Of course, again, counter attacks is a thing. So if you play this, it has 4 markers and you're starting to swing attacks, you're putting your opponent in a bad situation, because if they try to negate your attack with a counter attack, they'll just end up burning themselves with this auto. So gotta love that trap type of ability, like, aha, you sprung my trap. Yugioh, Unison of Might. We mainly have it here for its -5 ability. When your opponent has no battle cards, deal them 1 damage, quick little burn, just to go with the rest of the deck's burn. But it does have another useful effect, which is the -2 ability. Until the end of your opponent's next turn, if your opponent would play a battle card during using a skill, it is placed into the drop area instead, so it has a counterplay-like effect. So you trigger this, play this -2 from it, and then now you can, make it hard for your opponent to play stuff through skills. Like, it'll help prevent stuff like Evolve, Union Absorb, even stuff like a counter attack, counter play, skills, like our Allergic, type skill, and the list goes on, right? Yes. So, gotta love that. And this +1 ability could be used, there are 2 targets for it. We have Hidden Power, Isoprene Kai, and Hit, that are 2 drops that are mono red that you can use your +1 ability to draw a card and then play them for free. So that is an option. Then we have Goku and Frieza Miraculous Conclusion Ultimate 40k Duel Attacker. So it can attack twice. First permanent. You can't play this card from any area using skills. If you have 5 or more mono red energy, reduce the energy cost of this card in your hand by 3, so that way it becomes specified cost of 5 red energy to play. So essentially, it's a 5-drop if all your energy is mono red, which it will be obviously. So you could play this as soon as turn 5. And then second permanent, if this card would be removed from the battle area by an opponent's skill. Oh, this card can't be removed from your battle area by an opponent's skill, so it has some protection. So it's immune to like Charismatic Villain Frieza, at least, that kind of stuff. And then third permanent, during battle, which this card attacked, you can't use cards from your hand in combos. So you can't combo from your hand when you attack with this, and your opponent can't activate counter or blocker skills. So, which is nice. So it's essentially an unstoppable attacker, and it's a dual attacker. So every time you attack, your opponent can't use a counter attack. Well, they can't use a counter skill, but counter attack is the only thing your opponent is going to use when this card attacks, obviously, unless they create another counter type card out there, like a counter battle or something. But right now, counter attack would be the thing that this thing prevents your opponent from using, and blocker skill is another thing your opponent can't use. So you can definitely take advantage of that. Again, 40k, attacking twice. You can't combo from your hand when you attack with this, but you can combo from your battle area, so keep that in mind. And then it has the active main ability. If your leader card is red, which it is, and you remove this card from the game, from your battle area, deal 1 damage, hit 1. This would have been badass if you can just move this card from the game from your hand. Oh my god, I would have loved that. Because the first time I looked at it, I'm like, remove it from the game, deal 1 damage. Like, well, it doesn't say this card has to be on the field. Remove this card from the battle area or something like. But it's like, well, it's an active main and it's a battle card, so clearly it should be on the battle area for you to activate it. Because if you could remove it from the hand, it would say you can remove this card from the game from your hand or field in order to use it. So clearly it has to be on the field. I just wishful think is what I'm saying. My mind was like, does this have to be on the field, or can I remove it from my hand and get it, or remove it from my drop area? But clearly not. It's supposed to be from the battle area, logically anyway. And that's the end of the video.